2018 World Cup, some stats, facts and records to ready you for the 64-game marathon. The start of the 21st edition of the World Cup is only a few hours away. Journalists will soon be able to stop writing gloom and doom articles. They have become standard fare before every big sporting event, and focus on what is happening on the pitch. As a warm-up, here is a number of World Cup facts, stats, and records. Some will remain intact, some have a good chance of being broken, while some look certain to be beaten. I hope you enjoy this gentle warm-up and stretch for the 64-game marathon that runs until the final game on July 15th. 5. 4. The highest average of goals per game was in 1954 when Switzerland hosted. 68,991. The highest average attendance was at USA 1994. 171. France 1998 and Brazil 2014 both hit this high mark in goals scored in a single edition of the World Cup. 5 and 70 and 20. Brazil has won the World Cup more times than any other country. 1958, 1962, 1970, 1994, and 2002. In addition, Brazil leads in games won 70 and have appeared at more World Cups than any other country. 20. Russia 2018 will be appearance number 21. 8 and 4 and 106. Germany, including West Germany, has appeared in 8 finals, but has finished as runners-up 4 times, and that is also a record. Germany has also played more games at the World Cup than any other nation. 25. No country has tasted the bitterness of defeat at the World Cup more than Mexico. Blanked. 4 countries have played in the World Cup but have lost every game and failed to score a goal: Canada, China, Puerto Rico, Indonesia, and Congo. 9. The most games played without a win: Honduras. 224 and 121. Germany, once again, and this time it is the most goals scored and most allowed at the World Cup. 21. No other country has drawn more matches at the World Cup than Italy. 10. Brazil has had 10 players red-carded at the World Cup. 111. Argentina leads in the number of yellow cards. 5. Argentina has been involved in more penalty shootouts at the World Cup than any other nation. They have only lost 1. 3. Most losses by way of a penalty kick decider is shared by England and Italy. 5. The record for most appearances at the World Cup is jointly held by 2 players, Mexico goalkeeper Antonio Carbajal and Germany's Lothar Matthäus. Mexico defender Rafael Marquez will match that number at Russia 2018 if he plays. Gianluigi Buffon was named to 5 World Cups but did not play at France 1998. 25. No player has played in more games at the World Cup than Lothar Matthäus. 17 and 16 and 14. Miroslav Klose played at 2002, 2006, 2010, and 2014 World Cups, and no player has finished on the winning side more often. Klose is also the leading scorer at the World Cup. He scored his 16th goal at Brazil 2014. He also played more knockout matches at a World Cup than any other player, -14. 43 years, 0 months and 3 days. Colombia goalkeeper Farid Mondragon is the oldest player to appear in a game at the World Cup. He helped Colombia beat Japan 4-1 at Brazil 2014. However, Egypt's goalkeeper Essam El Hadary could break that record at Russia 2018. If he plays on Friday against Uruguay in Egypt's opening match, he will set a new record at 45 years and 5 months. El Hadary will also set a record for the oldest player making his debut at a World Cup. 17 years, 1 month and 10 days, Norman Whiteside of Manchester United played for Northern Ireland at the 1982 World Cup final against Yugoslavia, and he remains the youngest player ever to appear at a World Cup. 5. At USA 1994, Oleg Selenko scored 5 times in a 6-1 thrashing of Cameroon. This is the most goals scored by a player in a single game. 4. Polish striker Ernest Wilimowski played only 1 game at a World Cup but set 2 records. Not surprisingly, no player can match his goals per game average. Incredibly, Despite scoring 4 goals, he was also fouled for a successful penalty taken by a teammate. He finished on the losing side. Brazil won 6-5 at France 1938 after extra time. No other player has scored 4 times in a World Cup match and lost. 6. The high for cards collected at World Cups: Zidane, France; Cafu, Brazil; and Rafael Marquez, Mexico. I suspect if the tiebreaker is the player who smiled the most doing wrong, it would go to Cafu. Based on average, it would be Zidane -6 cards and just 12 matches. 2. Zidane and Cameroon's Rigobert Song were sent off twice at the World Cup. 3. Only Pelé has won 3 World Cups -1958, 1962, 1970. 2217, the most minutes played by a player at the World Cup, the great Paolo Maldini of Italy. 16-1, Diego Maradona captained his country more times than any other player in World Cup history. Sorry, but I have to add he also holds the record for being the vessel used most often by God to score at a World Cup -1. 13-6, a remarkable performance by Francis Just Fontaine at the 1958 World Cup still stands as the most goals scored at a single World Cup. The French striker also holds the record for scoring in successive games -6. 25-16, most matches coached and won at the World Cup: Helmut Schön of West Germany. A winner in 1974, runner-up in 1966, and third in 1970. His swan song in 1978 was a disappointment. West Germany finished behind Italy and the Netherlands in the second group format used in 1978 and 1982. 6. Coached at most World Cups: Carlos Alberto Parreira, 1982, 1990, 1994, 1998, 2006, 2010. Actually started his career as a fitness coach. In 6 visits to the World Cup, he was a winner with Brazil in 1994. 9. Ravshan Ermatov, 2010 to 2014, has referred more games at the World Cup than any other official. 50-76, 50 is the number of hat-tricks scored at the World Cup. 76 is the number of years, 1930 to 2006, it took FIFA to recognize American Bert Patenaude as the scorer of the first World Cup hat-trick. Patenaude scored all the goals in a 3-0 win over Paraguay.